Hello there and welcome to our channel. Listen, are you visiting, moving temporarily, or living long-term in Colombia? Stay and watch this video and find out which visa is for you. We're going to help you answer one big question. Which Colombian visa is right for you in 2025? In this video, you will learn whether you need a visa at all based on your nationality, the general requirements for any visa application, the three main visa categories in Colombia, Visitor V, Migrant M, and Resident R. How long you're allowed to stay under each type, and how each one can lead or not to residency. What options are available for digital nomads, students, business owners, retirees, and more. And what steps you need to take now to plan your visa process correctly in 2025. We'll also share practical tips, like how much each visa costs, how long the process takes, and how to avoid mistakes that could delay your application or affect your future residency plans. Let's get started, step by step. Step 1. Where are you from? Let's start with the basics. It's important to clarify that not all nationalities need a visa to enter Colombia as a tourist. If you come from any of the following countries in this list, like the United States, the countries in the European Union, Canada, United Kingdom, Spain, France, Japan, or Australia, you can enter without a visa and stay for up to 90 days, extendable for another 90 days, maximum 180 days per calendar year. In the video description, we will leave a complete list of countries. Be sure to check it out first. But note, this is a tourist permit, not a visa. If you plan to stay longer or live here, you will need an official visa. And no matter which visa you're applying for, there are some general requirements you'll need to prepare first. General requirements for any visa. Now, it's important to know that before applying for any visa, there are some documents you'll need no matter which type you choose. Here are the general requirements that apply in all cases. Valid passport with at least 6 months before expiration. Digital ID style photo, white background, and being recent. Letter of intent explaining your purpose in Colombia. Bank statements from the past 3 to 6 months showing financial solvency. Health insurance with coverage in Colombia valid for your entire stay. Depending on the type of visa, these are complemented by additional documents. Once you have those basics covered, the next step is to define something key. Why are you coming to Colombia? Step 2. What's the purpose of your stay in Colombia? First, it's important to define how long you plan to stay in the country because your length of stay determines the type of visa you will need. The first thing to clarify is that if you have a tourist permit in Colombia, know that this is not a visa. It's a temporary entry permit granted automatically at the airport to citizens from visa-exempt countries. It is valid for up to 90 days, extendable once, max 180 days per calendar year. It doesn't allow formal work or long-term stay. So if you plan to live, work, or stay long-term, you will need an official visa, type V, M, or R. So if you're staying less than 2 years, you will likely need a visitor visa, type V. If you're planning to stay more than 2 years, a migrant visa type M is usually the best option. And if you intend to live in Colombia long term, keep in mind that a type M visa can lead to a resident visa, a type R, after accumulating enough time. With that in mind, let's break down the three main categories of Colombian visas. Visitor visa, V. This one is for temporary stays. It's important to know that this visa doesn't count toward residency, so it's not for people planning to stay long term. It's usually granted for up to 2 years. It's ideal if you're coming for things like extended tourism, business meetings, volunteering, medical treatment, attending events, or taking a short course. Now, within this category, there are different options. So let's take a look at the most common types you might apply for, depending on your situation. The digital nomad visa. If you work remotely for a foreign company, this could be a great option. But keep in mind, only nationals from countries on Colombia's tourist permit list can apply for this visa. It's granted for up to 2 years. You will need to show a monthly income of at least 3 times the Colombian minimum wage. That's around 4,270,000 1,500 Colombian pesos, and have international health insurance that covers your entire stay. An important thing here is that this visa does not allow you to work for or provide paid services to any individual or company domiciled in Colombia. Your income must come from outside the country. The tourist visa. This visa is required only if your nationality is not exempt from needing a visa to enter Colombia as a tourist. In other words, if your passport doesn't grant you 90 days of free entry, you will need to apply in advance. It can be granted for up to 1 year, but your authorized stay is 90 calendar days, which can be extended once for another 90 days, whether it continues or not. However, once you complete 180 days within a 365-day period, that's the limit. You can't extend it further until the next cycle begins. Remember that this visa is strictly for tourism. It doesn't allow formal work or study. Student visa. If you're planning to study in Colombia, this visa is designed for you. It's granted for up to 2 years depending on the duration of your program. You will need proof of admission or enrollment in a recognized educational institution in the country. And you must show financial solvency, meaning you have the resources to support yourself while living in Colombia. This visa applies to formal education programs like university degrees, language studies, technical or vocational training, and similar courses. A good thing to know about this visa is if you're enrolled in a graduate level university program, this visa allows you to work up to 20 hours per week. Now, if you're planning to stay in Colombia for more than 2 years, or you have a more permanent reason to settle, like a family connection or a long-term plan, then you'll want to look into the migrant visa. Migrant visa M. This is a visa for people who plan to stay in Colombia longer than 2 years, and there are several ways to qualify depending on your situation. One of the first things you can check is whether you have a family connection to Colombia, either through nationality or relationship. A little disclaimer is that if you don't need to worry. We'll also explain other common pathways to apply for this type of visa. But first, let's take a look at the family-based options. Family-based migrant visas. If you have a Colombian partner and are considering formalizing your relationship, there are 2 main visa options you can apply for. First, the marriage visa. If you're legally married to a Colombian, either through a marriage in Colombia or by registering your foreign marriage here, you can apply for a marriage visa. It's granted for up to 3 years, and it allows you to accumulate time towards residency. You need 3 years holding this visa to apply for a residency. This visa also grants you an open work permit, meaning you are allowed to carry any lawful activity in Colombia. Second would be the common law partnership visa. If you're not legally married but live together as a couple, you can formalize the relationship through a notarized declaration of marital union. To apply for this visa, the union must have been declared at least 1 year before the visa application, and the document must be issued within 3 months of the application date. This visa is typically granted for up to 1 year, and you will need 5 years holding it to apply for residency. This visa also grants you an open work permit. That brings us to an important point. What's the real difference between the common law partner visa and the marriage visa? Key difference. The main difference between the two is the path to residency. With a marriage visa, you need 3 years to qualify. With a permanent partner visa, you need 5 years. Both are valid options, and it all depends on how your relationship is formalized. Now, let's look at another common path to a migrant visa. What happens if you have a Colombian child, parent of a Colombian national visa? If you're the parent of a Colombian citizen, you can apply for a migrant visa under this category. The visa is usually granted for up to 3 years, and after holding this visa for 2 years, you can apply for a resident visa. This visa also grants you an open work permit, and this also applies in cases of legal adoption. Let's break that down. Mother or father of a Colombian national by adoption visa. This visa applies to foreigners who are the parent or child of a Colombian national who acquired citizenship through adoption. That is, someone who became a Colombian not by birth, but through a formal naturalization process recognized by the state. This visa is also granted for up to 3 years, and you may apply for residency after 2 years of holding this visa. Also, it does not allow you to work in Colombia. Now, let's move to another possible pathway: visas based on your nationality. Nationality-based migrant visas. If you're a citizen of certain countries, you might be eligible for a migrant visa based on international agreements. The Andean visa. This visa is for citizens of Bolivia, Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. It is granted for 2 years, only once, and you cannot reapply for this visa. And it allows you to apply for residency after 2 years. This visa also grants an open work permit, however, it does not override the specific rules required to practice regulated professions or activities in the country. Another option is Mercosur visa. This one's for citizens of Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Paraguay, and Uruguay. It is also granted for 2 years, only once, and time with this visa counts towards residency after 2 years. This visa also includes an open work permit, which allows the holder to legally engage in any type of work in Colombia as long as they comply with the law. And for regulated professions, additional certifications or approvals may be required. No family connection or eligible nationality. If you don't have a family in Colombia and your nationality doesn't qualify for the visas we've covered, there's still strong options under the migrant category. Let's review them. The real estate investor visa. If you're planning to buy property, these may be for you. The investment must be equivalent to 350 Colombian minimum wages for 2025. That's 498,225,000 Colombian pesos, so around 105,000 US dollars. This visa can be granted for up to 3 years, and you can apply for residency after 5 years of holding it, and it does not allow you to work in the country. But there's something important you should keep in mind. The Colombian minimum wage increases every year. For example, it rose by 12% in 2024 and 9% in 2025. So if your plan is to reapply for this visa and eventually qualify for residency, the value of your property must still meet updated investment threshold when the time comes. So, if your plan is to reapply for this visa and eventually qualify for residency, the value of your property must still meet the updated investment threshold when the time comes. Our recommendation: aim for a property worth at least 900 million Colombian pesos, approximately 219,000 US dollars or more, to stay ahead of future adjustments. Other key requirements for this visa include: you must make the investment before becoming a tax resident in Colombia, and if you want to understand how tax residency works in Colombia and what that means for your finances, check out the article we linked in the description. The funds must be registered as a foreign direct investment through an official exchange declaration, and the property must be in your name, and the registration must be completed with the Banco de la República. Now, let's say you're not coming as a family member or by nationality, but instead you want to invest in Colombia and build something of your own. A very great option for this could be the business owner shareholder visa. If you're planning to create a company in Colombia or become a partner or shareholder in an existing one, this visa could be the right fit. The requirements include a minimum investment of 100 minimum wage salaries, which is approximately 427 million Colombian pesos in 2025. Here, we strongly recommend investing more than the minimum, as the Colombian minimum wage increases annually. The business activity for this visa must be real and operational, since you will need to present documentation showing the company is active. The general process includes: first, legally incorporating the company in Colombia; second, opening a bank account in the company's name; and third, starting actual economic activity, invoices, contracts, or any proof that the business is up and running. This visa is granted for up to 3 years, and you may apply for residency after 5 years of holding it. And can you work under this visa? Yes, but only within your own company and in line with its registered economic activity. This is not a general work permit. But let's say you're not looking to start a business, you're retired, received a stable pension, and you want to enjoy life in Colombia. In that case, there is the retirement visa. If you're already retired and receive a permanent monthly pension, this is a straightforward path. The key requirements for this visa include a monthly pension of at least 3 minimum wage salaries, which equals to 4,270,500 Colombian pesos in 2025, an official certificate confirming that you receive a lifelong pension, either public or private. You should know that foreign pensions are tax exempt in Colombia up to 1,000 UVTs, which is currently about 49,799,000 Colombian pesos, or approximately 12,000 US dollars, depending on the current exchange rate. This threshold may vary each year based on official tax updates. Also, this visa is valid for up to 3 years and you can apply for residency after 5 years of holding it. It does not allow you to work in Colombia. On the other hand, if you've been hired by a Colombian company and plan to live here while working formally, there is a visa for that too, the work visa. This visa is for foreigners who get hired by a Colombian company. You will need a valid employment contract, proof that the company has received income over 100 minimum wage salaries in the past 6 months, around 427 million Colombian pesos in 2025. Also, supporting documents from the employer, including bank statements, company registration, and certification of legal existence. This visa is ideal if you already have a formal job offer and plan to work long-term in Colombia. Keep in mind that this visa grants you permission to work exclusively in the position, company, profession, or activity for which the visa was issued. If the scope of your employment changes, you may need to request a visa modification or submit a new application. It's granted for up to 3 years and you can apply for residency after 5 years. Now, if your plan is to stay in Colombia long term, let's talk about the next step, the resident visa. Resident visa are: this visa is designed for people who want to make Colombia their permanent home, but not everyone can apply right away. You must have previously held a migrant visa type M for at least 5 continuous years. Some categories like marriage to a Colombian or being the parent of a Colombian child require only 2 years. It's also important to note, time cannot be interrupted between visas. If you let your visa expire and reapply later, the residency clock starts over. Let's review some examples from what we've covered. Marriage visa. Apply for residency after 3 years, permanent partner visa 5 years, real estate investor 5 years, parent of a Colombian child 2 years, and retiree and worker visas are 5 years. So once you know what type of visa you qualify for, the next question is, how much will it cost you? So the question is, how much does it cost to apply for a Colombian visa in 2025? We've prepared this table with the estimated government fees for each visa type, Visitor V, Migrant M, and Resident R, including values in COP and USD to help you plan your budget. You can find the full cost breakdown on our website. Scroll through the visa types, let's say for example the digital nomad visa, and you will see the details like fees, requirements, and steps for each one. Keep in mind, some documents, such as background checks, civil records, or contracts, must be apostilled and translated, which involves additional cost and processing time. So, before jumping into the process, here are a few things you'll definitely want to keep in mind this year. Key recommendations for 2025. Before starting your visa process, here are a few things you should definitely keep in mind. Know the current minimum wage, since many visa thresholds are tied to it. Plan ahead. Some documents can take weeks or months to obtain, like police records, apostilles, property purchases, or company information. Start your visa process at least 2 to 3 months in advance. Visa processing can take 15 to 30 business days or even more, depending on your case. If you're in Colombia on a tourist permit or a current visa, make sure you have enough valid days to remain legal while the new visa is being processed. If you're planning to reapply for your visa in order to qualify for residency, there are a few key things you need to understand. Keep in mind that each reapplication is treated as a new visa, which means you must still meet the original conditions of your visa type. For example, marriage visa, you must still be married to the same person. Real estate investor, you must still own the property. Business owner, your company must still be active and compliant with Colombian regulations. Still not sure which visa you need or need help applying? We can help. Contact us and schedule your 2025 visa diagnosis today. Don't forget to follow us and leave your questions in the comments as we will be responding to them. And we will see you in the next video.